2. In the quiet hum of my darkroom, surrounded by the ghosts of moments captured, I met her. Not in person, at first, but through the lens of my camera. She was just another assignment, another face to frame. But the moment I saw her, something shifted. It wasn't just the way the light danced in her eyes, or the effortless grace in her posture. It was the story she told without a single word. She became more than a subject. She became my muse. Every click of the shutter felt like a heartbeat. I was no longer just a photographer. I was a storyteller, desperate to capture the epic poem I saw in her soul. Each portrait was a love letter, a secret whispered into the silver gelatin. The studio, once a place of work, transformed into a sanctuary where our worlds collided. We talked for hours, her laughter echoing off the blank backdrops, filling the space with a color and warmth my lights could never replicate. I was falling fast and hard for the woman inside the frame. My art became a mirror of my emotions. The photographs grew more intense, more intimate. I used light and shadow to sculpt her form, not just as a beautiful woman, but as a living piece of art. A single, soft focused shot of her hand resting on an old book symbolized her wisdom. A high-contrast profile against a stark background represented her strength. Each image was a piece of me, a testament to how she was reshaping my world, my art, my very being. She was the masterpiece I never knew I was searching for. But love, like photography, is all about perspective. And from another's point of view, our connection was a threat. A shadow from her past, a figure of unresolved jealousy, began to loom. His presence was like a crack appearing across the glass of a perfect picture frame. He saw the adoration in my work, the way my camera loved her, and he couldn't stand it. The easy laughter in the studio was replaced by tense silence, her bright eyes clouded with a worry I couldn't soothe. The vibrant world we had built began to feel fragile, threatened by a storm I was powerless to stop. The heartbreak was palpable, a bitter chemical in the developer tray, spoiling the beautiful image we had created. The night of my gallery opening was supposed to be a triumph, the culmination of months of work, of passion, of her. My heart hammered against my ribs as the crowd gathered. The centerpiece, hidden under a black cloth, was my final portrait of her. It was the most honest, vulnerable, and loving picture I had ever taken. As I pulled the cloth away, a collective gasp filled the room. But it wasn't a gasp of admiration. The photo had been vandalized. A jagged crack, like a lightning bolt, was torn across her face. A broken frame for a broken heart. In that moment of public humiliation and private agony, I saw him at the back of the room, a smirk playing on his lips. And then, I saw her, tears streaming down her face, as she turned and ran. I found her by the river, the city lights painting, shimmering, transient portraits on the water. I didn't have any words, so I simply held out my hand. In it was a small locket-sized print of that same portrait, unharmed, which I had kept for myself. I told her that no matter how someone tries to break the frame, to tear the canvas, the real picture, the real love, remains. It's not in the gallery, not for the world to see. It's here, between us, unbroken. She looked at the tiny photo, then at me, and in her tear-filled eyes, I saw my reflection. We were more than a photograph. We were a story, finally complete. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales from behind the lens. Your support means the world. See you next time.